Good afternoon, guys. Stefan here from Secure Communications and Simply IT in Northampton. Just want to talk today about IT budgets in the new normal. It's a very strange topic, but I hope I don't bore you, so I'm going to try and make it as short as I can. I talked literally for probably over an hour. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to cut to the video. So if you see me stop talking halfway through, that's why. But thanks, guys. Today is the average IT expenditure, how it was and how it is moving into the new normal. So a lot of you guys have come from a previous background. Obviously, we're all used to being able to manage our business prior coronavirus 2020, and since we've been in coronavirus 2020, it's been a very much of a, hold our money as much as we can, get our staff paid if we can. It's been a state of survival. What we've got to start looking at though now is we are going long term with this. It's fairly obvious that this is going to be with us for a while, and I'm just trying to give you guys some tips on how to look at IT and your phones, etc., moving forward. So, one thing that was always done prior to coronavirus was a lot of people were looking at, they build really reliable systems inside their offices to make sure that they don't go down, they don't lose product. We're moving away from that world because not many people are reliably in the office. Hi. So I just wanted to give you an indication as to what the car park is like here at Simply IT. You'll see almost 90% of the car parks empty, and it's literally been like this all day. So you can see most people are not even back yet, and this is the trend we're starting to notice across most industrial estates, and I assume yours will be the same. But if you have a look at this, guys, you'll see. It's empty, and it's used to be full. Before Corona, this place was full. It's just a lot's changed, guys. It's massively important that you look at the concept of flexibility and understand that that's what the new future is. The new future is flexibility. Can my staff pick up their laptops and go home and carry on working at full capacity? Probably not, no. But can we get them close? Yes. So this is typically what you would expect to see. On the left-hand side is, I would say, pre-2020, pre-coronavirus. You'd get a new organisation. It depends where you are. You could be in year 2 of your role. You could be year 5. You could be at any point in those 5 years. But say, for example, you are a new, typically sized 20-user-based business. You're looking at your IT, thinking, do you know what? We need a refresh. Right? What would happen? You get 3 IT engineers or 3 IT companies to come in, 3 different engineers to complete their audit to say, this is ultimately what we think. It's not what they know, it's what they think. That IT system is secure, reliable, and fast. This is what we need. We need Windows 10. We need, this much processing power. We need this much memory. Well, these things are not fact. These are what that IT company have decided with their time that is necessary for systems to run effectively. I would suspect something like £10,000, say £400 to £500 a PC for each PC, and then obviously the installation, then you've got the servers, then you've got the switches, then you've got the routers, the firewalls, the wireless. By the time it all is all set up, you guys have had quotes before. You're probably looking at £20,000 to support a typical 20-user system, and obviously excludes your support, which generally comes out somewhere between £300 a month to £500 a month, depending on what client or size of organisation you come into. Unless you go into a one-man band, which is probably not the smartest thing to do for a larger organisation, purely because of the reliability. You're putting your entire IT organisation under the visor of one person, which is never a good idea. So yeah, obviously we know that this is the role. We know this is probably how much you spend, 25,000. Then obviously year on year you do little updates. Gym accounts might need a new memory unit or a new hard drive. You've got a new staff member that doesn't like the PC you've got, or they want a new PC, or You want a new PC, typically you're spending somewhere between 2.5 to 3,000, maybe even 4,000 a year, keeping that stuff up to date. Then you still got your support to pay for. You got your little bit of networking. They might change. They might upgrade a switch, change a switch here and there. You got your internet bills to pay for. Most people, 20 users are at a point where they're like, probably start considering having a lease line, where you're talking, £300 a month to keep you guys reliable. Guys, this has completely changed. You couldn't probably get further away from that model moving forward, and I wouldn't suggest anything that was similar to the old model, purely because, right, the first thing that comes to my mind when I look at it is, why would you spend so much on internet when people are much less likely to be in the office than they were before? They're probably in the office 50% of the time. We can easily float between, coffee houses, restaurants, hotels. People are moving around, their laptops, they got internet at home. What's the point in having that high-speed internet when there's a chance that your staff could get told they're not even working from home, and they're not even working from the office, and obviously working from home is much more increased. So, guys, this is definitely something that we need to not necessarily negate. Obviously, lease lines still have a purpose, but the purpose, I would say, in this day is considerably less, or I would consider spending less money on internet. The other thing, obviously, is why buy such high reliability VLAN networks when more than likely you want to be working from home. People need to be able to work from anywhere, so VLAN environments like that is much less needed than it was when we were all in the office every single day in specific PCs on specific desks, where you could literally increase the security just by saying, well, they have their own environment, you have your own environment. Now you need to start looking at, what if you're sitting on any of the desks? What if that desk has been quarantined because one person's gone out and has got a virus and come in, and that section of your business has to move? You can't work at those desks. You can't work within 6 feet or whatever it is. What do? Where can they work? They can work in different locations within the building. And if that's true, obviously, again, it goes back to the whole point of the switching environment being really expensive is less of a requirement in the SME sector now. What else are we talking about? The kit. A lot of the kit, we don't need to spend 10,000 getting these PCs that have got this, that, and the other. We can use lower cost laptops, and connecting to what we suggest personally is we have both a cloud telephony platform and a cloud server platform. We personally suggest using the cloud systems and putting your resource in the cloud. So basically, your laptop is very, very basic. It's probably as cheap as physically possible, and you connect into a server environment that sits in the cloud and is very, very fast. So now all your money goes away from the end users' desktops and into the cloud systems. Well, the good thing about cloud systems initially is they are cheaper to run, because they're often multi-tenanted, which means you only pay for the resource you use. Second reason why it's powerful is it's very operationally driven rather than capex driven. So if you buy an i5 today, right, you're probably talking, for a PC, you're probably talking £300-400. If you bought the same i5 but bought it 2 years from now, you're probably talking 200 quid. And it is literally half the price, and the performance is half the price, half the capacity in 3 years, because of how fast technology moves. Well, the good thing about paying operationally, is you only pay for the amount you're using at that time, which means you don't need to upgrade every year, but you're actually being upgraded every year. It's a concept that's difficult to get your head around, but it's very, very cost effective compared to having to buy and then wait 3 years and then buy again, and you're always buying at the most expensive amount and not probably using it for a year or two until it even needed. But then why are you paying for that when you don't need it yet? It's just because that's how the capex model works in regards to the operational model, and we focus a lot around that. So everything that we run is cloud based. So I can pick my laptop up now, which I actually am not even on the corporate network, and you can see that I'm able to do this webinar that I'm doing with Skype. I'm able to make calls. I can see the contacts in my office. I can use my Outlook if I want to. I can literally function at full capacity from anywhere, and it doesn't even slow down. A lot of people are used to VPN type connections, which are so old now. They've been going for probably as long as I've been in IT, which is way over 10, 12 years, whatever it is, and they were great. They are great, and they keep you secure, but they are so slow. We use it as a transport to our viewers. So actually, when you're actually using our system, it's almost like you're in the office accessing your files. It's absolutely rapid. Actually, it's probably faster than using a laptop. That's how fast it is. And of course.